crack on. Let's let Jeff do his introduction, because he did put some work into this, to be fair.
Yeah,
so
now you've built it up, and it's going to crash
and burn.
I'm backing you, Jeff.
Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. Well, hello and welcome to Who Corner to Corner. This is the Doctor Who podcast that explores the Whoniverse from one corner to the other and beyond. My name is Jeff, and his name is Paul.
Yes.
Good evening.
Hiya, mate. You all right?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not stressed at all, mate.
No, we've got there in the end tonight. So we're chatting tonight with a lady who has become very familiar to Whovians around the world recently, and she ensures that there's always a twist at the end.
Oh.
It's Susan Twist.
Hey,
Good evening.
Susan Twist, hello.
Hello.
Lovely to see ya.
And you. We got there in the end, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
So how are you this evening?
I'm lovely, thank you. It's such beautiful weather all over, isn't it?
Oh, it's been lovely today. We've had sun shining and everything.
Well,
beautiful.
You say that. I was out yesterday. I was doing a bit of filming in the morning, and we had the drone up in the air, and we were filming, and it was really sunny. It was lovely. I got home, and I'm 10 minutes away from the place I was filming at, and we had a torrential downpour, and thunder and everything for about an hour, and then it stopped again. So I don't know what's going on with the weather at the moment. It's bonkers.
It's like
That's very sad.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So
Did it mess up your drone business?
No, literally, good job we finished when we did, because 10 minutes later we would have been wrecked for it. So yeah, and my wife said, "Don't." She was going to text me, "Don't fly your drone in a thunderstorm, because you might get zapped."
Oh really? Oh my goodness.
Yes, possibly. Yeah. So I avoided that. So anyway, it was a good day. So we've got quite a few questions for you, Susan. Questions from us and from some of our listeners as well. So let's start with a bit of talk about Doctor Who. So what has appearing in Doctor Who been like for you, and what's it done for your career?
Oh gosh, it was the loveliest. I mean, I was in the first lot with Ncuti, the first, obviously the series, his first series, and it was a joy. I mean, Russell is a wonderful man, and he told me on the phone about all these different people. Yeah. He didn't really tell me. He said at the end there would be a payoff, and I might even be a picture in one of them, which he was. He knows exactly how it's going to pan out. But I didn't know. My only question was, do these people know about each other? And he went, absolutely not. No, they're separate. So you're not playing one person, playing other people. So that was lovely. I mean, it was just like sort of being in rep, from the old rep days. Yeah. And I was you're in a theatre for a whole season. You play all these different people. It felt like a bit like, I don't know, they were tiny little things, There was the 73 yards was a bit more substantial, but often they were just little ones. But I had an absolute blast. Everybody there is wonderful. And, I had all the prosthetics and all that. It was fabulous. Although it took 5 hours to get on and off and stuff. But it doesn't matter. It was just fun,
Yeah.
And lovely. And they're all everybody there is amazing. Amazing.
That's always good to hear, isn't it?
Yeah, the best telly I've ever done, really. Is it?
Brilliant.
The people backstage.
Yeah.
They to me, the old fart I am. They I say backstage, behind the scenes and the makeup, the wardrobe, just a joy. The runners, the drivers, everybody was just so lovely. Quite special for telly-wise. I think everybody will say that when I've done the Comic-Cons. Everybody will say Doctor Who is pretty special, really, in lots of ways.
It does seem to have like a family feel to it, does it? Yeah.
It does, it's good fun. Everybody cares. Everybody's really, on the ball and wants to do a good job because they know they're on a special show.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah. So it's a joy. I mean, it always comes from the top, doesn't it, in any job? And that's Mr. Russell T.
Mr. Russell,
the genius that is.
Yeah.
Is wonderful. So I'm a very lucky girl. Very lucky girl.
So,
still pinching myself, really,
Yeah. So how did it all come about? Was it, casting call went out to your agent, or were you sort of specifically called about it, or?
my agent got a call from the casting director of Doctor Who because Russell, I'd met Russell a few times because he obviously lived in Manchester quite a lot, doing Granada. He was up here in those days and still has a place up here. And used to come to, he's very good at going out to see theatre shows. And I did a little play of his. There's a thing called That Take Back, which Julie Hesmanhage, you know, Julie, the brilliant Julie Hesmanhage. Well, I'm going to do I'm doing a radio series with her, or in the next few weeks. But she and a few other people do these short, every so often short, script in hand readings of new work. And Russell did one, and I was in it. And I don't know, he came to see it or something. Yeah, I think so. And I'd met him a few times, and he's a lovely bear of a man, you know, lovely. And, very sweet. The casting director phoned my agent and said, Russell will be calling you. They've offered you this. So then Russell called me and said, this is happening. It never happens like that. You know, you've got to go through bloody auditions, and then you've got to do tapes and all that palaver. You know, these days you self-tapes. But so I'm a very lucky girl.
That's amazing.
At the right place at the right time. And he just, do you know what? I think he just liked my name, Susan Twist.
That might be part of it. You never know.
I say to him, I'm sure it's just my name. Jesus. But he has the most amazing memory. When we did a chat together for, you know, the BBC Three Doctor Who.
The confidential thing.
That's right. He said, I remember you in this thing, and I'm reckless, a thing. I married Robson Green and somebody else. I was a vicar. And he remembers that and remembers my lines almost, you know. I mean, and it wasn't, I don't mean it was me he remembered. He remembers everybody. You know, it's wonderful. So I think Susan, of course, who was the granddaughter, and the twist at the end, sparks his imagination as well. You know, who knows, chicken and egg? Who knows how it all sparked off?
So,
you know.
I was going to say, what was it like being so embraced by the fans? Because what you just said there, it was fun. You know, during everything, you know. Everyone was like, she's back again. Who is she? Is it Susan? Is it this character? Is it that character? And then, you know, building to the kind of reveal there at the end. And people, you know, even now are still, you know, they love you and the part and everything about it. What's it been like for you?
Well, Jeff, I don't do social media really. And
Good
so
job.
Friends were kept texting me and going, well, you know, they think, they don't believe Susan Twist is a real person. People are saying it's an AI. I go, all sorts of things.
Chat,
I remember that,
But people have been, and these Comic-Con things are wonderful. They're very warm and knowledgeable people, and the Gallifrey was extraordinary. But, you know, the Whovians are wonderful people. So it's been interesting also to remember people say, oh, you're Susan Twist, which is very odd, because often they'll go, oh, you were Rosie Banks, you know, and I've done other parts. And now somebody stopped in the car in my road last week and just went, Susan Twist, I knew you lived around here. Somebody said you lived around here. And I just thought, it's very weird. They know my name. Usually they know the part you play.
The character,
Unless you're a big star.
I remember all that chat. Yeah, people thought Susan Twist, that's not a real name. She's not a real person. And people saying, I can't find any evidence of her online. It must be.
It was crazy,
made
wasn't
up.
it?
And
all you've got to do is go to IMBD or something.
Yes.
Yes, and that's wrong as well, because they've got all the...
It's a fake account. They just set it up just for the show.
It is weird, Paul. But you know, on that thing, whether you look up people, they've said I was in... My brother told me this. He said, do you know, you obviously did Coronation Street when you were 6 years old.
Oh, they got the dates wrong.
Got all the dates wrong and stuff. And you know... But I've been acting 47 years, so it's hard. Well, I'm the old dear, you know. But
nonsense. I still remember you as Rosie Banks. I used to, do you know what? Because I never used to watch Brookside at all. I was far too above that kind of thing until I hooked up with my then girlfriend, now my wife, who was massive into Brookside. And in order to kind of get a bit closer to her, I said, I can sit down and watch Brookside. But you know, I got into the storylines. It was ridiculous, and it was round about that time. And it was what was her name? And she had the first lesbian kiss on TV, and it was like such a big thing, you know. And it was all in the papers before and after, and you know, it was quite amazing. That was good times.
Yes, bodies under patios and lesbian kisses.
That's it. Yeah, that's the one.
I remember seeing all that in the news and stuff.
Yeah, bodies under patios.
Yeah. Gosh, that takes me back now. Sorry, yes, a slight segue away from Doctor Who there, Jeff.
Yeah, we'll come back to all that. We've got some questions on that a bit later. So, before you were cast in the show, were you a fan of Doctor Who?
Yes, I love Doctor Who. Well, I remember, you see, I'm so old, I remember William Hartnell when I was about 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Hiding behind the sofa, as everyone did with the Daleks, you know, like that. I think it's everybody's first. It's like, I remember David Tennant saying in an interview, it was his first memory of 7 and watching being scared at the Daleks and whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I love it. I haven't seen all of them, you know. Because actually, when I was doing a lot of theatre and there was no recording, you know, I didn't watch, but I did do everybody. I think I've seen everybody's Doctor.
Yeah, at least, yeah. Because it's been such a part of British culture for so long. It's part of the TV culture, isn't it? And like you said, so a lot of those memories of being scared and terrified to that extent are quite vivid, and they stay with you through life, don't they? So you remember those things.
They do.
Yeah.
They're sort of uniquely. Well, I say that now, but they're all over the world now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's global now, isn't it?
Fairly recently, but I think everybody in Britain or of a generation or any generation knows Doctor Who, don't they? And you can sort of age people by the Doctor they like.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't you? You know, who was your Doctor, Paul? Who was your Doctor, Jeff? Are you?
Well, I remember watching Sylvester McCoy when I was younger. Yeah, and so I have quite strong memories of that. And Paul, you were watching a bit before me, weren't you?
Bit of older Tom Baker and Peter Davison, 4th and 5th, 70s and 80s.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, I used to love that. It was, for me, it was.
Baker.
I know, wasn't he? He was just iconic. The iconic Doctor for so many people, and because I think I was born during John Pertwee, but way too young to remember any of those. So it was some of the earlier Tom Baker stories that I kind of remember, and then I never used to watch it so much, but it was always used to be on, and people were always talking about it. And everybody knows what a TARDIS is. Everybody knows what a Dalek is. It's like you were saying, you just know. Anyone of a certain generation just knows that stuff, whether they watch the show or not. It's so deep into everything we do.
Yes,
it really is. Yeah,
And the way the TARDIS, changes too. That was so wonderful seeing the TARDIS. In Wolf Studios, you know.
Oh, yeah.
We were, wow. Because it's huge. The studios are huge. They're like, I don't know how many aircraft carry hangars. It's just amazing. And we couldn't go on the TARDIS, inside the TARDIS. We'd be at the side of it, and just, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, it looks like when they light it up with all the different lights and have it all moving around, it gives it a bit more character, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And of course there's a few TARDISes as well. When we were on when we did 73 yards, they got the touring TARDIS, which went on the cliff in Tempe,
Yeah.
And it's got all overgrown by flowers and things, didn't it? And weeds and stuff and what have you. Yeah.
Which was your favourite of the series, that last series, the story?
For me, actually, it probably was 73 yards. I did like it because I thought it was a really intriguing mystery, and it was never quite resolved as to what actually happened. I think there was a lot of clues there, and you've got to rewatch it to really pick up on all of them.
Yeah.
But even when you've got that, you think, is there something else I've missed? Go back and watch it again. So it's got a good rewatchability episode. But the only downside for me is that the Doctor's not in it that much.
Yeah,
so it's like a really good story, but the Doctor's not really in it. So
No, He wasn't at all because he was
doing something else, wasn't he?
education.
Yeah.
Stuff. But everybody says that, you know, when I go to the Comic Cons, everybody loves 73 Yards, and somebody said to me that the most popular one with David Tennant is also the one that he wasn't in. I don't mean
it's the one he's not in.
These guys are going to start getting a complex, aren't they? What do you mean you don't like the episodes I'm not in? You know, I'm the lead, yeah.
But like you said, you had more to do in that story, didn't you, in 73 Yards, Susan?
Yes, and well, it was Millie really as well, wasn't it? And the other one I loved was the Beatles one.
Oh, the Maestro episode.
You know, yes, wonderful. And that was the tea lady. Great fun.
Yeah.
Meeting the Beatles.
I really liked Legend of Ruby Sunday.
Oh, you did, didn't you?
I thought you had a lot in that one, but the build up and then the reveal and you know the sort of cliffhanger at the end. I remember, you know, I said to you, Paul, didn't I? That was cracking. That was really
did
good.
Like that one.
That business. Yes.
Yeah, with the hands coming out. Yeah.
And you got to scare everyone with the face and everything, and you know, the change there and stuff. Yeah. So
that was wonderful, and all the masks. And you know, I must tell you about all those wonderful masks, and they gave me the pictures of them because I wouldn't know all these different characters. And I've got a collage they gave me at the end. But the blue face, they literally flashed up in seconds.
Yes.
All those. There's the blue face, there's the metal face, the another one, I can't remember, there were up 3 or 4, and they took about 4 or 5 hours to put on. And they literally flashed in, you know, you probably went, oh, I blinked, I didn't see what that was. And you thought, oh my God, these wonderful people at Millennium FX are genius women and men. And, you know, I just wanted to go, oh my God, come they have hold it a bit longer on those pictures.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were great to do.
Yeah, they look so good, and it was a shame it was so quick. But yeah, like you say, all that work, you know, and it happens often with props and things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, huge amount of man hours and design and things like that, and you know, you see it for a couple of seconds on screen in the end, you know.
That's right.
So I've thought of another question before we carry on, but are we going to see you in season 2? Was my next question, but I've seen the cast list for the next couple of episodes, so I kind of know the answer to that already.
I haven't seen it.
They've revealed some of the synopses. Yeah, so I don't know how much you can say on
well,
that.
Jeff, I don't know which episode. I've forgotten which episodes I'm in. I think I'm in 2. I thought I was in the 2 at the end.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah, because this week is the song contest one. This week.
This is the 4th week, isn't it? Is it 4th or 5th?
Sixth week.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
I know, it goes quick, doesn't it?
Goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen them all as well. I think it was a blur.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yes, the last 2, and they're Russell's ones. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm the last 2.
Okay, so that means you'll be on cinema screens then, around the country.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't see them last time.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Russell texted me and said, "Oh, we've just seen you all." That was on 7 and 8 last year, you know, in the first one. And other people said to me, "I had no idea it was going to be in the cinema before." But I mean, I don't know that I'd have gone. I mean, goodness, it's bad enough watching yourself on a little
60-foot screen.
But you know, 60-foot screen would be a nightmare. Anyway, but yes. Oh, I didn't realise that happens. So 7 and 8 go.
Yeah, is it both Paul or just the final?
No,
one?
it's both of them. So they're gonna have the final week after next, aren't they? And then the 2 they'll show both at the cinema on the final night. So you get the two episodes double back. Because I'm going with my daughter. So we're going to watch it. That's fun. I think the last time I watched Doctor Who in the cinema was with David Tennant. Actually, the day of the Doctor. And I was on my own because like nobody else. Like my kids were really young, and my wife's not really into Doctor Who, so I just went on my own. But it was packed, and I had to like squeeze through and find the one seat in the row that was allocated to me. But it's actually really nice now to be going with my daughter, who's turned out to be a bit of a bit of a fan, as it happens. So she's coming with me.
How old is she, Paul?
She's well, when we go, she's going to be 18. So she's got her birthday this weekend. So she'll be 18 weekend after.
Oh wow!
Brilliant.
Too young to have an 18-year-old.
Oh, thank you, darling. You're too kind. You're too kind.
Bit of flattery. No,
Wait till I take the hat off when you see the massive ball patch. Land a helicopter on that.
Is it in any cinema then? I've no idea.
I think it's in. I don't know. I don't know if it's in any. I mean, certainly it's in a lot of the audience. I mean, that's what I booked it with. So
right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
Cineworld are showing it as well.
Cineworld as well.
Yeah, the big chains. Yeah.
Right.
So
I mean, that would be weird. That would be weird to sit in there, wouldn't it?
Go on, you got to do it.
Yeah, it would be quite interesting.
Could you get one of the prosthetics and go in disguise? You know, like
go in as the lady who hands out the ice creams, and people would be thinking, "What?
Yeah,
she's the ice cream lady." Oh my gosh! But I saw her on the popcorn booth earlier. What's going on?
She's running the place.
Yeah.
How funny. Somebody said to me, somebody told me that it was on a thing that, of course, because Anita Dobson, she's got the thing of, who is this woman?
Yes.
I think he quite likes the idea.
Yeah.
Somebody that there was a text or a tweet or something is Anita Dobson is taking over from Susan Twist or something, meaning that there's the same, the idea of, although she's that one character, that's what will be revealed at the end of this series.
Yes.
That's the difference, isn't it? Because she's a character wearing different costumes, and whereas Susan Twist was different people. See, look at that. I keep calling the character Susan Twist now, because what else can we call her? She's so many different people. It was, it was interesting. Susan Triad, wasn't it? That was the thing. Gosh.
Susan Triad.
Yeah.
Susan, yeah.
Did you get when did you get that, because it's all the red herrings, did you think it was the Triad as the, S Triad, of course, is the TARDIS? And
yeah, well, that's what I thought it was going to be, that you were going to be revealed to be. There
was all kinds of things, wasn't there?
Maybe a TARDIS in human form, or you were going to take the TARDIS to do something. And people theorise about everything, and
Russell knows this as well, doesn't he?
He does.
We talked about this on a podcast, because he's referencing it through the series and in the interviews and everything else. And he's like, I know Doctor Who fans are going to jump on this, so he's just going to give us loads of stuff for us to mull over while he sits back there laughing. You fools!
So the one that I saw was a promo shot of Ncuti, where he was doing his kind of doctory pose, and I think Millie's in the picture, and the background is this kind of big rainbow blast of like a vortex type thing. And I saw people online saying, it looks like the sort of vortex that Sutek has in his sarcophagi back in the Tom Baker story.
Interesting.
So there was this small group of people going, oh yeah, I think Sutek's going to come back. And then of course as it goes on, you're like, no, I don't think so. So when it was revealed, that he was there, I was like, oh my god, that guy totally called it based on that image. And I wondered whether it was a very, very subtle clue, to what was to come.
And also Sue Tech, Sue. There were lots of little clues,
the little anagrams and things. That's when I got it, when it was finally completely spelled out and had been on screen for like about 2 seconds or something. I'm like, that was it. So I'm not very clever like that. So
great to bring Sutek back, talking about Tom Baker, of course, because he was the one who first introduced Sutek, wasn't it?
With the guy who played the voice in back in the pyramids as well. So
That's
his voice, it's scary even now, isn't it?
Beautiful voice.
It is. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I'm doing Doctor Who audiobooks. It was very weird.
Oh yeah,
a couple of weeks ago, doing 7 and 8. I did episodes 7 and 8. So I was being myself, which was very odd. And doing all the other voices of all the people in the episodes. It's a very odd thing. But, and 73 yards, Paul, it was a very interesting way to read that, because being a reading rather than a drama, it followed it quite well, but it also made things a bit clearer about the story. If you ever get a chance to read the audio book of it.
I've got it up
Yeah,
there
you've-
somewhere.
you've-
Yeah.
You've got everything.
I've got everything.
So
Yeah.
That became clearer with me, the fact that it's her and maybe she's dead and it's her, and anyway,
Yeah.
you put what you like on it.
You
really,
can't you? Yeah, that's it. It's like there is a narrative. It does work on a top, on a surface level. It's all there. There's a story, and it's a very intriguing and mysterious and slightly spooky one. But there's a lot of other stuff, digging into, psyche and metaphysics and spirituality and the idea of birth and rebirth and, time going forward, backwards, sideways, loads of different stuff. And the fact there's no clear answers to any of that kind of hints that the universe is a lot bigger and a lot stranger than we can see, feel and touch. And I love the idea of that. So to get it all in a little story, 45 minutes, whatever, on a tight little novelization, I think it's, those for me, the little nuggets in Doctor Who. I was saying last week, I love the space lasers, but give me a story I can really think about. That's my thing.
I agree, love, absolutely, yeah.
And the show gets to do it, I always say it's creatively unlimited. You could go from something sort of mad like we had this season with the animated Mr. Ring-a-Ding, to last week's, which was almost all in the barber shop, and it was quite a deep and complex episode in many ways, and there's not many other shows that could swing so wildly like that in what they're tackling and how what the tone of an episode is, and it's one of the things that I love about the show.
Absolutely, and it can go anywhere, like you say, and does, which I love the way Russell does it as well. Well, and Stephen Moffat does, just wonderful stuff, and the way the what was the episode this time that was handled, racism and all that with our first.
Oh
black
yeah,
girl.
the Dot and Bubble, was it last year?
The story in the engine.
Oh, the story in the engine. Yeah. That was good fun as well, wasn't it? Yeah. I really enjoyed that. That's been my favourite so far of all the 15 Doctor Ncuti stories. And then the Well, that was a good one as well. That was terrifying,
the Well was brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, they're all wonderful in their own ways, aren't they?
Yeah.
Wow, and there's nothing else like it, is there really?
No.
Even like Black Mirror, which I love, and all those things, they're not. There's nothing like Doctor Who, because it can go anywhere and does. Which I love.
Do you like a lot of these kind of fantasy or sort of sci-fi-ish kind of stories and TV shows?
I wouldn't say I don't not I wouldn't say I was a great sci-fi fan, although I enjoy because Black Mirror is a bit sci-fi, and that I love that. So I wouldn't know what else shall I watch, Paul? Tell me if there's anything.
Oh, there's a question, isn't it?
What would you recommend?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know now. You put me on the spot, Susan. This is supposed to be us asking you the questions, not throwing it the other way around. The last person who did this on with us was Colin Baker, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He took ownership.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
I don't know. I'll tell you one I do like. I'm not sure if it's still on Netflix or not. But did you ever see, Jeff? It's called The OC. Did you ever watch that one?
The OC.
Yeah, The OC. And it was really weird. Jason Isaacs was in it.
Oh.
And it was really, really creepy. And it's basically like there's a woman who'd lost her memory. She woke up, she's in hospital and stuff like that. And then she kind of gets kidnapped as well and thrown into some what looks like a weird experiment. And she kind of finds a way through it. But it's just, every time you think you know what's going on, it pulls the rug away from under your feet. That she's got memories of being a child in some, in a house that she doesn't recognise. And then it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And there's a flip at the end of Series 1 going into Series 2 that just makes you think, what? What the blazes was that? And then it changes all again. So that was good. That was good fun. If that ever comes back on, watch that. The OC.
Letters OC.
The OC. Yeah, and it's set in modern world. It's not space aliens or anything like that. But it's a reality bending.
I'm writing it down. OC, the OC. And where will I get that on?
I'm not sure. It was on Netflix. It might come back. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you find it, give it a shot for definite.
I will. No, recommendation. Thank you.
I'm glad you clarified that, Paul, because when you said the OC, I thought you meant the teen drama that was set in America that was like Dawson's Creek.
Oh no, not that.
And I
no.
thought that's not your type of show.
No, that's not my type of show. So you got me worried now. Was it the OC? Yeah, sure it was. I'm going to check this now. Right, hold on. Right, you two carry on. I'm going to double check this now, just in case I gave the wrong. Was it the OC? Or was it the OA? Oh, it might have been the OA. Hold on. OA.
He's sending you in the wrong direction, Susan. You're going to watch this and go, when does it turn weird? It's just teenagers falling in and out of love.
Ah, yeah, sorry. It is. It's the OA. That's the OA, not the OC. The OC is the teen drama that Jeff was on about.
Yeah, got it.
The OA. Yeah, that's it. Oh, it says here it's still on Netflix, so maybe that's the thing.
Say 08, as in the number 8.
No, A. The letters O and A. That's it.
A.
Yeah.
Thank you.
OA.
Oh, yeah, the OA.
A. Netflix. That's me then.
Yeah, it's because it's
That's my next binge.
it's brilliant. Let us know what you think of it, because it's got my head spinning. That's for sure.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'll have to check that out.
When did you get the acting bug then, Susan? When did it all start for you? I mean, you don't need to know when, but how? No.
Well, I went to from Liverpool. I went to wasn't an awful school but it was awfully academic, and it didn't do any drama or music or anything.
Right.
And there was a wonderful woman called May Bradbury, who a lot of actors actually went through, if you like, and she taught drama at Merseyside Youth Drama on a Friday night down Rose Lane, Church Hall, and we just had a good time. Lots of theatre games with shows and stuff like that. You know, it wasn't posy or, you know what I mean, kids. You know, it wasn't, what do they call them? You know, those drama type things.
I know what you mean.
Anyway,
we know.
But it was dead normal, you know. And then I went. So I really loved it then, you know. Didn't tell anybody really, but I did go to. My mum and dad used to go to Liverpool Playhouse all the time. They had a season ticket, and I usheretted there and watched.
Did you?
You know, I did.
Excuse me.
You know, or in between, and Saturday job sort of thing, and I just got, you know, I really liked it. Not all academic, and then I went to Stratford-on-Avon and did it because the school was so blooming academic. Brilliant parents found this thing. We went to Stratford for a weekend, my mum and I, and my brother, and a piece of paper and saying drama and liberal arts. So in Stratford-on-Avon, so it was like a further education college.
Yeah,
right. Did drama as well as A levels, so you know you're keeping your parents happy with the A levels. Which she then didn't do, but then, and then we did drama in this amazing studio, you know, and I worked at the RSC.
Well, home of Shakespeare, isn't it?
Yeah, gorgeous. And then, well, that's when I really grew up. Yeah, and when I left home for 16, 17, and then from there, a few of us from there went to audition for drama school. I never thought you could do it properly. I thought all those people were somebody else, you know. It was always something I wanted to do. So very lucky. And then in my day, 47 years ago, it was rep. I'm very lucky to have got. You went to, you auditioned for a theatre and you did a season there, and then you did maybe bits of telly, but mostly it was theatre in those days, you know, in the 80s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah. Lots of good memories from there.
Yes, wonderful. That's how you learn and kids.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry, kids, but young people now, they don't have that theatre because reps. Don't
it's not as big as it used to be, is it? It's quite a small, nichey thing almost now.
You don't find seasons. Theatres don't do seasons. They do one-off if they're doing anything at all. And also they have to join up with other theatres because they're poor, you know.
Yeah, don't get the money, do they?
Arts Council. Don't get me on the politics of it.
We'll steer clear of that, don't worry.
I do quite a bit of work for Guildford Shakespeare Company, and they are what they call site responsive. So they've never done a show in in a proper theatre. It'll always take place around the town, or they'll hire like a big top and it goes in the park, or we did one that took place at the miniature railway place in Guildford. But they do like a mini season. They'll do 2 shows kind of a couple of months apart, and it'll have the same cast in them, and then they'll do another 2 a bit later in the year, and then, you know, different cast. But I've been doing stuff with them for about 12 years, I think now, and every so often I come to do a show and I'm like, I recognise you from something. I can't remember what one it is, but, you know, the people keep coming through it, and you know, I've done a lot of Shakespeare filming with that, but they mix it up as well, and they do like Alice in Wonderland, or a bit later in the year they're doing a Frankenstein show as well. And I think that's happening in an old church in Guildford. So it's quite good what they do there. But yeah, you know, you're right about the big theatres. I love those
site-specific things where they do shows in other things than not theatres, and just
I find it every time, you know, I come in, I'm like, right, what's happening here? Well, there's going to be a stage there, then you're going to need to go over here for this bit, and then that bit, and then someone will be in the balcony, and, you know, it's just different every time, and it keeps me on my toes, and, you know, it's great fun doing that.
Yeah. What do you do with that, Jeff?
So I film usually film the dress rehearsal, and then it will go into a little trailer for the show, and sometimes we'll do special kind of teaser trailers. So they are actually doing something in a theatre in July, the first time they've done it. So in all the years I've done it, it's always been site responsive. So Monday I'm filming a trailer, and we've got to do something with 2 sets of twins, but one of the twins can't be there. So I've got to somehow do a bit of split screen trickery, and make
Old
it
school.
look like we've got the 2 sets of twins, and then in July we'll be filming the show. So one of them, I think they alternate the days, and they start outside the theatre in the town, and then they go into the theatre and do that.
Fantastic. And that's in Guildford, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's been, you know, great. We've done stuff in, you know, woodlands, in fields, old churches, all sorts of places. It's been
lovely.
Great. Yeah,
it's lovely doing stuff outside too. I've done a lot of plays out. Shakespeare works very well outside.
Yes, yeah, it does. Yeah,
Seen a lot at Chester and Oxford. Yeah.
You got a favourite Shakespeare play, Susan?
Oh. You know, I haven't really. I like them all in different. It's a bit like Doctor Who episodes or the Doctors. I like. I love all the As You Like It, and I did Hamlet actually.
Did you?
It was female Hamlets, and I was Polonius, who was supposed to be a man. He was the father of you know, all women. So. Well, it wasn't all women, but it was a female Hamlet.
Right.
Polonius, and they did a lot of that. So that was fun to do. It was cut a lot, which is also good.
Yeah.
Long.
Guildford Shakespeare did Hamlet a couple of years ago, and Freddie Fox played Hamlet. And Freddie Fox is in this Saturday's Doctor Who. With horns and a mullet, so nothing like how his Hamlet looked. But
Tenuous link there, like that.
Yeah, I filmed a little trailer for the show with him. He was a really nice guy. He was really good.
Lovely. You get to do all these different things where you get dressed up in different things. It's so nice. Silly, isn't it? Silly.
So when did you realise that, you know, because like you said, you know, you see people on stage and TV and think, you know, that they're like, you know, from a different world sort of thing. When did you realise that, you know, you could, you know, make it a career, and this was something that you could do?
Well, you know, you just when I went to drama school, I guess, and you came out, and you find yourself in rep, and then what? But a lot of people, you know, have stopped because they couldn't afford to carry on doing, you know, especially, I mean, a lockdown was a lot of people, a lot of stage managers became barbers, you know, they retrained as barbers and things like that because theatres were closing and stuff like that. But I just kept at it, and I was a jobbing actor, really. If you can keep going and you keep getting work, then you're doing quite well, really, in our job, because, you know, you're out of work a lot, you know, doing other shitty, excuse me, jobs. You know, I mean, don't mean shitty jobs.
I know what you
because
mean.
people do,
Not the job you want to be doing, basically.
No, and also feeling, yeah, because those temporary jobs aren't as you don't get to get fulfilled in that in the. Sorry, I'm not putting it properly.
I know what you mean.
I know what you mean.
Because you want to be an actor, don't you? You want to be acting. You want to be appearing in shows and plays and TVs and all sorts of things. If you're not acting, you're doing something else, and it's maybe can feel like it's taking you away from what you want to be, rather than helping you get towards it. Perhaps.
That's right. I mean, there are some lovely things. You know, I enjoyed doing, and often actors up here can get into doing training doctors. They do simulated patient work.
Yes,
I know this sort of thing.
You learn an awful lot of things doing all these
medical stuff. Prep for casualty.
Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, actually doing any of the plays. I did a thing, funnily enough, with Sylvester McCoy.
Oh yeah,
right.
Thing called Having a Ball. We laugh about it when I see him in the comic ones. Because it's Having a Ball is by is it Alan Bleasdale? Anyway, is it? Yes, I think it's Alan Bleasdale, and it's set in a vasectomy clinic.
Right.
So when we did that, it's a comedy, but it's set in a vasectomy clinic, and we went and saw a vasectomy being done in one of the local hospitals. I think it was near Guildford, actually.
Oh, really?
Down your way.
You get to go, oh, I could do that. I could do that,
As you like it, sir. Little snip.
Yeah, as you like it, And then I did a play about hairdressing. I had to go to learning hairdressers for 2 weeks, looking like I could do it. I mean, shame on me. Hairdressers are proper trained people, and you have to look like you know what you're doing. But it's interesting, our job, because you can do research and find out about other jobs. That's an interesting thing.
And you're right. You do sometimes these sort of funny things and different stuff. I was in Geneva or somewhere filming a pharmaceutical conference one day, and there was an actress and an actor who were on the stand for the medical company doing a quiz, and we got chatting, and they were I don't remember if they were married at the time, but they're both actors and actresses, and she's done doctors and various BBC shows called The Midwife and all sorts of things, and every so often she pops up on an advert, and I remember a year or so ago texting her, I hope you got free aero for life from that advert. And now he's on an advert for some cooking thing that you can order and get delivered and stuff. But they do these what you might call odd little things. But she said to me once, I only need to do 1 or 2 adverts a year, and the residuals and buyout and stuff pay for everything else, really. But it's that sort of decision of I want to act. Like for me with filming, sometimes it will be on TV. Sometimes it will be at a trade show or something, but it's doing
doing the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, still doing it, and kind of accepting that you have ups and downs in terms of maybe the scale of things, but you're still doing something you love, and like for me, sure as hell beats working in an office or doing something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're not bad jobs at all. I you always find something good about them, don't you, really? Call centres and things like that. Doing market research, but nice people, often actors. When I was in London especially, it was run by actors, really. That was where you could, because they allowed you. The problem is you need to get out. You used to be able to have to get out to do auditions. So most jobs won't let you have time off to do auditions, So we worked in these market research centres because they knew they were run by actors, really.
There was a place in London, it was called RSVP, I think it's still going, and it's a call centre, exactly like you said, run by actors, staffed by actors. So if you say, tomorrow I need to go to an audition, they're like, yeah, great, off you go. And it's a brilliant kind of temp, ongoing job for people in that profession. Yeah, really good.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it still happens, though, because often they got rid of it a lot.
Well, you need that flexibility, don't you? To be able to go off quickly at short notice.
That's
and things,
right. Yeah, and there's so you short notice of getting self-tapes, for instance. They'll ask you on the Friday if you want it in by Monday, and there's not many jobs where they expect you to work on a weekend.
No.
Just, you've got to, there we are.
So tell us a bit about working with Ncuti and Millie and all the cast. What was that like?
Lovely. I mean, great fun shooting. I mean, funny enough, we didn't really, because of the nature of the parts, didn't join until, because you remember in the Beatles one, we just missed. We didn't actually. We had a lot of choreographed action because we weren't allowed to see each other. It was me putting the tea down, turning around, saying the words there, him then turning round, and then him looking. So actually, we weren't in many shows together. Yeah, we were in that one, and then the last two. Yeah. So we didn't actually, but the last two, but lovely, of course. And Millie, I came across Millie more really because of course 73 yards.
Yeah. And that was the first one that she filmed, wasn't it? And she basically led it on her own. And I don't know how terrified she was doing it, but she did a great job in it. And she did. She was wonderful. Get thrown in like that, she was fantastic in it. Yeah,
she's a wonderful actor, wonderful. Yeah, and I just remember on those cliffs in Tenby. Yeah. I was sort of padded up, the jolly hiker, and she's in the t-shirt, freezing. It was in February. She was literally, I've never seen anyone so cold in my life. Bless her heart. So, but she's marvellous. Yeah,
she's really good.
Really lovely, So.
Yeah, and Ncuti, he's been a really good. I mean, the doctors are all good, but he's really charismatic, and he's been a really good kind of face for it all. He's brilliant, really kind of.
He really
positive.
Is. I mean, he's beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely, and he sort of shines. Really.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
There's a radiation about him, isn't there?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. He's a big star. He will go far.
Yes,
that boy.
Yeah.
So, I think he likes the films. I think and he's obviously done Barbie. Whatever. But also the theatre, because he's doing. I think it is out there that he's doing a thing with the RSC. Yeah. Marlowe and Shakespeare, so
that's it. Yeah,
I think I had read something about that.
Yeah. The play Christopher Marlowe and Shakespeare. He's playing Marlowe. So
and he did Importance of Being Earnest recently as well. Yeah, did that.
That's right. Yes.
When you were doing the audiobook readings, how did you approach them? Did you just kind of go through it all, or did you read certain lines and as a character, then other lines as a character? Did you do it in chunks to kind of avoid getting lost on voices?
No, Jeff, an awful lot of work beforehand. I think 73. They don't give you enough time, really, and lovely technician behind the things, going, patient, and if you stumble and whatever, and you're trying to be fluent, so you have to sort of rehearse at home quite a lot before. So you do it all really, and work out that I mark the script. So if I know that there's somebody speaking, and then it says you come to the end of the line and it's said so and so, you've got the right voice to start the sentence with, if you like. Yeah. But so there's a lot of work on that, trying out and things. They didn't give us enough time for we've done the last, which aren't out yet. The ones with Sutek. I had to have 3 days. This was a lot, because you can do probably 80 pages a day, between 9 and 5.
That's really, a full day, really, isn't it? That's
a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
And your voice can't take it either, can it? At that
a lot of
pace.
Water. That's right.
Yeah.
And also doing Sutek's voice, I had a bit of a. Having to do that quite deep throughout the thing, and and you start to look at words and you just go, oh my God, I don't know what that word is. Something very easy. By the end
THE, I don't know what this is.
By the end of the day, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work. I have a friend who does the radio with. Well, we're going to be doing it again And he does loads of that. All he does really, which is amazing, is audiobooks, and it's incredibly intense. You're exhausted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like running a marathon, he says, and I agree. You're absolutely drained. I know that sounds very
No, but it's a bit
It's-
like sometimes if I spend a whole 8-hour day, 9 hours editing, just solid at the computer. At the end of it, I'm exhausted from just constantly thinking and you know, what can I do here and do that. And so you know, when you're in the studio, like you say, you're just reading tons of stuff, and you've got to put all the different voices on and
it's mental concentration as well as the physical aspect as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
And
And of course, the microphone is so delicate. Literally, you're trying to do all the drama of it, but not move, because they'll literally hear you move your hands in the air.
Spatial shit.
It's just you strap your hands down, you sit on your hands, you just
strapped to a gurney.
Yes, absolutely terrible. But no, I love doing it with this, especially there's a audio. What's it called? Oh golly. Audio Always in Manchester, which is a media city, and they're fantastic, you know, recording studios, and they're lovely. They're a lovely group of people. So I go there rather than, you know, you don't have to go to London or whatever.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, media city, they're great.
So,
and radio, I love too.
You like the radio,
Tell us a bit about Trust. Is that something that you're recording at the moment? Or?
Yes, we've been doing it for about 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah.
Do you know BBC Radio 4?
Yeah.
2:15 every day, there's a play. And Trust is a wonderful thing. It's a sort of comedy and a light. Julie Hesmanage is the head teacher of a school, and a trust school. It's gone all trust, and it's, you know, there's various characters. So I'm various characters in that. I'm a mother. I'm the tannoy, the Scouse tannoy, the comedy tannoy system. It's very well written by Jonathan Hall, who's he's written a lot of books as well. He's a lovely fella. So we have a lovely time doing that. There's less because you don't have to learn the words. I mean, it's quite intense again because you do. We've only got. We're doing, how many are we doing? 3 or 4 hour long type things in for 3 days.
Right.
Know? So it's a lot, that's intense as well. But it's great fun, you know, go in the studio together. So we all love, because we come back, we do them probably twice a year. Julie's just texted me going, we're off again.
Brilliant.
So is that kind of like almost back to the rep kind of family feel, where you're doing that sort of thing?
We work with the same people, and there's about 5 of us on it who the regulars on it, if you like. There's lots of people who come in as sort of like guest type people. But that sounds very... Anyway.
It's your show, you know, so.
But it's just lovely, good fun. We get together. Yeah, although I see Julie, you know, because she lives in Manchester. And the other people I saw, some one of them lives up here too. The other 2 come up from anyway. So it's nice to get together.
That's really nice.
We did it in lockdown. The first thing I did actually after lockdown, and we were in little booths together. It was so silly. We thought we were going to have to do them from home, so we all madly bought all this equipment. You know what I'm like with equipment, pretty rubbish. I'm glad we didn't have to do that, but they put us in little separate booths where we couldn't see each other, we just hear each other, so that was weird. But
that's really good. So, have you had a call from Big Finish yet about any of their Doctor Who audios?
No. I'm getting a bit of a complex because somebody said, introduce me at the Gallifrey thing. They introduced me to the Big Finish lot there. And then I know do you know Rob Shearman?
Okay, Dalek writer.
He's a good friend of mine.
Is he?
And yes, because he's married to an old friend of mine too. So in fact, I think it was Rob who was staying with me when Russell came, came to the door because they were working together. So I think I met Russell then.
Right, a long time ago, yeah.
We're going a long time ago. So small world. But yeah, so it would be nice too, because Janie, his wife, does a lot of the Big Finish stuff.
Yeah.
And Katie Manning, I think she does quite a few. We're trying to do a three-hander together, Katie Manning, me and Janie. Somebody wants to write a little short film for us.
Yeah,
so
that would be good.
That's probably happening sometime.
Fingers crossed for that one.
Yeah, I just listened to a Big Finish with Colin's Sixth Doctor, listened over the last couple of days. And Katie Manning is in it as her Iris character.
Iris Wildtime, is it?
Yeah, and Iris is outrageous and cheeky and saucy and naughty. But they swap.
Being Katie
yeah, and
so against type, eh?
So yeah, and they swap bodies. So Colin is doing an impression of her, and vice versa. And it was great fun. I really
they must
liked
have
it.
too much of a laugh doing that.
Yeah, they were clearly having a great time doing it. It was
brilliant!
It was really good.
I'd love to. I loved Katie Manning.
Yeah. She's so again great kind of ambassador for the show, and she's fantastic.
And she's a friend of Janie's. This is Rob's.
Oh yeah,
right.
So they've known each other since they were, babies, really.
Yeah.
It's a strange, small world, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I hope we get to do that all together. That sounds be something really good. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Definitely.
Yeah. Nice. We already did a short film, tiny little film. Kate. That's when I first met Katie. Just before Christmas. Tiny short film that it's nice to not unpaid thing for young people. Sometimes ask you to which is great if you can help people.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, is that up on YouTube or anything?
Do you know? I must find out what that's called. I don't know what it. It's a sketch thing.
Yeah,
there's lots of sketches. I'm sorry, can't remember.
That's all right. I'm going to try.
Yeah, if you
something sketchy, is that it?
It might be
something sketchy. Series of sketches written and performed by Luke Allen.
That's it.
There you go.
Luke Allen, that's
the film features a cast including Katie Manning, Susan Twist, Mark Silcox, and Richard Curtis.
Oh, super. Honestly, fancy you
Look
getting that so quickly.
It's all to hand.
Well, I don't know. I must have a look at it. I did a tiny little bit as like one of those news readers. Do you remember? You won't remember Victoria Wood sketch. When they had that woman doing the reading, the news reading, and it was all what was she called? Sally something.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
you know who. Anyway, she did it with a straight face, and it was all quite funny stuff. So I was that sort of character.
Paul, I'll get you to send me the link, and I'll
send me the link to that. Yeah. Don't you worry.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. Yeah.
Something sketchy.
We'll send it to you to your
write
agent.
That down. Something sketchy on YouTube.
Hold on, where is it? It's kind of just come up with a summary. So where can I find it?
Oh, you haven't actually found it, right?
Hold on.
No, that's fine. I've just written that down.
Now you know
it's
the
linked
name,
to the IMDb listing for the film. So hold on a bit.
It'll be somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sometimes with IMDb, when you click it, it actually just takes you somewhere completely different after time.
Oh,
which is kind of weird. But no, it's got a whole bunch of pictures on for it. So what I'm trying to do is where can I? We'll find it. We'll find it on YouTube or something somewhere for sure.
It might be. I might ask Luke. Actually, I haven't got a hold of him.
In fact, let me look on that now. Dun, 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 dun. Something sketchy.
So tell me, this podcast, do you go every week?
We do, yeah.
Every bleeding week, Susan. Surprising we're still married, really, isn't it, Jeff, sometimes?
Yeah. Well, we do an episode every Sunday at 6 p.m.
Great.
And, we do episode reviews, and we just talk, about all sorts of different aspects of Doctor Who, and then we talk to fantastic people like yourself, and we've been doing it for nearly 4 years now.
Is it that long, really?
Yeah, by September it will be, I think. And when it started, Susan, Paul and I were chatting in a Twitter group for Doctor Who fans.
That's how you met then.
That's how we met. And then we connected kind of outside of there and through LinkedIn and stuff. And Paul's day job of e-learning projects sometimes needs video. So we were able to kind of link in together like that. And in lockdown, Paul said he'd never seen any of the Marvel films.
Never seen them.
Oh, Paul, I can't believe this. I'm a big fan.
That's exactly how it was.
Yeah, and we had this idea to start a podcast where we watched each of the films and we talked about them from, the viewpoint of someone who's seen it before and someone who'd never seen it before. That was the corner to corner. We're going from one corner to the other.
To the other corner. Aye.
Yeah. And then we finished doing that, and then we were like, this is really good fun. Why don't we just carry on with doing Doctor Who as we love that? So we did. And when we started the podcast, it was a bit of fun, something we love. And we had no idea that we would ever, make genuine new friends through the doing the podcast, meet people from the show. We went to the coast a couple of years ago and met Chris Chibnall for tea and talked about the show.
Broadchurch and all of that stuff as well. Good fun.
Amazing.
And, we've had so many, great people come on and chat with us. And
congratulations.
Really, thank you. It's really wonderful, yeah.
Brilliant.
So,
it's brilliant.
So what's next for you?
Isn't it? Podcast. Well, I'm doing Trust in June. At the moment I'm trying to learn. I'm doing a play called Noises Off, which I'm looking at now in July and August and the beginning of September in Scarborough at the Stephen Joseph Theatre there.
Scarborough,
Be lovely.
Love
July,
Scarborough.
August in Scarborough.
That'll be good.
So it's lovely. I've been there a few times. I've done plays there. It's the Alan Ayckbourn Theatre that starts his plays in. And and people tour with. They often now they join with like Bolton, Scarborough, and the New Vic, they're all in the round, which is a lovely way of theatre. I love
yeah.
So Noises Off, which is great fun. It's like a farce, really. It's by Michael Frayn. It's a classic farce that starts off from people rehearsing a play and they all getting it wrong, and then the second act is behind the scenes, so funny stuff that happens while the play's going on, and then the third act is like, I don't know, 10 months down the line, and how they're all wanting to kill each other, and how the play changes. The play that you sort of saw rehearsing, how it's all everybody.
That sounds fun.
It's
that
very
sounds
funny.
good.
Fun, very funny. I saw it originally in the West End in like late 80s. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
With all the really good.
Wow.
Brilliant.
I'm lucky.
Yeah,
you're keeping busy, aren't you? That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
The old girl is not. Yeah.
Hey.
Still going on. Still going.
And we'll see you on Doctor Who in from the time recording a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Aren't we?
Yeah.
So
Right.
see how that's all going to pan out.
Yeah.
Oh yes. And yes, it feels so long ago. It's interesting.
Of course, you'd have filmed all this like a while back, because it was all kind of filmed back to back, pretty much, wasn't it?
Yes, and then we did a bit of extra filming in February as well. So we revisited a bit, and that was before. And then 2 days or something, and then we went to. I went to Gallifrey, and which was very lucky. Getting to all these wonderful conventions.
We're going to get people in Susan Triad costumes, aren't we? All the different outfits that you wore. That's going to start happening now. We're going to have all the horns, the Star Trek outfit, the hiker, all of that stuff. Actually, I'll go as the hiker. Oh, the horns. I like the horns, though.
The horns are pretty cool.
Yeah,
they are pretty cool.
And be arranged.
Striding darlings. Yeah.
All those wonderful masks. I wonder what happened to them. The actual one, the Sutek ones, where we were like the skull, they had to be on every day. They were different ones and then peeled off. So they had to make new ones every day. You know?
Yeah.
But the other ones, the metal one, it's extraordinary.
Was that?
you know, I should have got.
Oh
the
yeah, the
picture
kind of
out.
steampunky thing as well, wasn't there? There was
Yeah,
that,
didn't you have a red eye? And
Yeah, we had red
like a
contact
Borg or
lenses.
something.
Yeah, yeah. We had to have those in, and then there was a wonderful man who fitted them. We had to go to an optician, and then he said, "No, they can only be in for 2 hours." You know,
Oh.
so he, bless him, he was able to say, "Stop,
Stop!
you know,
She'll
right,
go blind.
you know, yes, she'll go blind." So, you know, take them out for 10 minutes, and put them back. You know, stop filming.
Yeah.
But as a you wouldn't dare to say anything like that. So. Yeah, so that was good. Yeah.
Oh, good
What
fun.
were we saying? Sorry, but I'm Twitter on about.
no, it's,
rubbish.
I was going to say I'm
love
very
it.
excited to see you back on screen, and
Thank you.
maybe we can have a catch up again in a couple of weeks when you can
That
talk
would be
about it.
nice.
Yay!
That would be nice, Jeff. I'm happy to do that.
Okay,
whenever.
that'd be lovely. Yeah,
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I'll get you on without
Quite often.
any technical hiccups this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I'm sorry. It must be easy. I'm sure it was probably me as well.
No, it wasn't. We
wasn't.
we did a live stream a couple of weeks ago, and it's mucked
Knocked
up
all our settings off.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Oh right, because I tell you what. Eventually, I pressed another one and got. I was joining and paying 3 or 4 months or something.
Oh,
And then
crikey.
we got to a screen, and I was recording on my own. So I seemed to have set up, although I haven't done the thing, but it took me to a screen and it said press record, and so I was recording my own podcast.
well,
Hey, that's
I'd
a
watch
thing.
it.
I'd watch it, yeah.
yeah.
You've got 2 subscribers right here.
Yeah,
Say it.
Don't know what happens there. I have no idea. I got rid of that.
Oh, well, thanks for sticking with it as well.
Yeah,
you
thank
have
you,
the
yeah.
absolute
Oh, no.
patience of a saint to put up with these technical shenanigans.
I shouldn't think so, but then hopefully next time I won't be. Anyway.
Yeah. We'll make sure it works properly next time.
Lovely.
Thank you so much for joining us,
Okay,
Susan. This has been absolutely wonderful, and
Lovely. I've enjoyed chatting to you both.
Oh, good,
Brilliant.
thank you. And we look forward to seeing you on screen again over the next couple of weeks, and hearing what you're up to going forward as well.
Look, absolutely. Anytime.
Right.
Thanks,
Lovely.
Jeff. Thanks, Paul.
Brilliant. Thank you, Susan.
you.
Thank you for joining
Thanks.
us. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Pleasure.
Thanks
Thanks,
for all our
everyone.
listeners. We'll see you next
See you
time
soon.
on Who's CQC. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.